Okay, so today we're gonna talk about letting go of the baddie aesthetic and how I let go of it. So disclaimer: I'm a French girl, so I don't always have the words to describe what I'm talking about, but I'm gonna do my best. So the baddie aesthetic. I think that we all have the idea of what a baddie is. Like, it's someone that's always a girl most of the time. We're not gonna lie, wearing that's not wearing any colors, to be honest. That's gonna wear black clothes, white clothes, gray clothes, tight clothes most of the time. Who is always on flick. Her hair is always done. She always has extensions. She always has nails on. Manicure is always done. Everything is always done. Everything is perfect. The body is done. The face is done. The makeup is done. The nose is done. The lips are done. Everything is done. And most of the time, everything is done to fit in a certain category because she wants to look like a certain type of girl. You will never see a girl going under surgery not to fit a certain beauty standard. It's always to have the slim nose, the biggest lips, the biggest ass, the biggest titties. It's never and I'm talking about the baddies, right? I'm not talking about the girls that undergo surgery because they have health problems, because they have too big titties and she has to reduce them. I'm not talking about that type of person. I'm really talking about the baddie aesthetic right here. And I tried to fit in that aesthetic. I tried to make myself more attractive to guys because we all know actually. I'm not in the US, but France is always adopting, I would say, this aesthetic and this way of thinking. When you go out, when you observe people, when you observe how men move and how women move, you will see that men are, and when I say men, I'm not talking about real men. I'm talking about guys that are like up to 27, 28. I'm not talking about the men that are 35 because I think that they were raised under different values, but I'm talking about the new generation of men, right? You will always see what type of girl they are attracted to, right? And most of the times it's gonna be the baddie, like the girl that's, the brunette most of the time. I'm not going to lie here, I'm gonna be honest. The one that has a big ass, maybe not big titties because it's not really like the trend anymore. But yeah, and I tried to fit in, right? I tried to become what I was not because I am not from a big country. I'm from the islands, which I think you can see here uh, with how I look right now. I'm from the islands, and on the islands, specifically Rainian Island, we do not have this baddie aesthetic that was imposed on us, right? We don't even talk about baddies, to be honest. I've never heard someone that comes from the island and that was raised on an island talk about how they want to be with a baddie. I've never heard that. I mean, from a Rainian Island stand of point of view, yeah. And when I came here to France, like in Paris, I was confronted to another mentality. So I tried to fit in. I tried to meet the beauty standard. I tried to change myself. I tried wearing black clothes, like putting a certain type of makeup on. Actually, I was wearing makeup that did not fit my face just because I wanted to look like somebody else to meet the beauty standard. And I don't think that I'm the only one doing that. That I was the only one doing that. I would always try to have nails on, and if I didn't have any nails done, I would think that I looked dirty, like not done. I would always try to have a wig on, and if I didn't have any wig on, I wouldn't feel pretty. So that's why I wouldn't wear any braids, any box braids, any knotless braids, anything, because I didn't feel like it was the beauty standard, and I really wanted to fit in the beauty, like I really wanted to fit in the baddie aesthetic, right? And it led me to being so vulnerable because I would be dependent on the like on what men thought of me, right? I would always think that, okay, I'm gonna put that makeup on, and if I don't go out, and if men are not attracted to me, that means that I don't fit the baddie aesthetic, and I need to work harder to meet this beauty standard, right? So it led me to a point where I thought that I wasn't enough, whether it be externally or internally. So I would beat myself up. I would think that I wasn't enough. I would think that I had to work harder to meet the beauty standards. Just because I wanted to be a baddie. Just because I wanted to be like every other girl on TikTok, on Instagram, and show that, okay, I have all of my stuff that's done. And because I have everything that's done, I'm going to attract a rich guy, a professional soccer player. I'm going to attract a professional basketball player. I'm going to attract an NBA player, whatever. So what happened was that I decentered my life. I centered my life around men, male gaze, and I centered my life on anything but me, to be honest. I based my life on values that weren't mine, and that didn't really align with values that I was raised with. So that was also amplified by the fact that I was also surrounded by girls that thought the same thing. So I was surrounded by, like, my former friends really were male-centered women. And they were really focused on meeting this baddie aesthetic, right? And what I had to do first was to cut loose with that type of friends. Because you cannot heal if you stay in the environment that made you sick. So I stopped being friends with them. I isolated myself because I needed to go back to who I really was, meaning the girl that's from an island and I came here to study and to become a lawyer, not anything else. I isolated myself because I've always felt that I didn't belong in this type of circles, because I knew deep down that I didn't want to be a baddie. I didn't want to always have my nails done. I didn't want to always wear wigs. I didn't want to always have to straighten my hair, just because if I don't straighten my hair, I would look like I'm not really being taken care of. Like, I would look like I am not taking care of myself, which is not the case. You do not always have to straighten your hair. You do not always have to put a wig on. You do not always have to put makeup on for you to show people that you take care of yourself. First of all, because taking care of yourself is not just about how you look, okay? You have to take care of what's within. Because if you take care of what's within, it's going to show on the outside, whatever. So I stopped being friends with that type of people. That was hard because I took a long time. I think I took maybe 1 or 2 years to finally be able to cut loose and to tell them in front of their faces that I was not satisfied with the friendship. I do not like you being male-centered at the cost of our friendship. And I still have one friend, which is my best friend, Louis. Hi. But yeah, the journey started with me cutting loose with everything that made me fit in this aesthetic or whatever. I don't even want to call it an aesthetic because it's not. It's just bullshit. I'm just gonna be honest. The baddie aesthetic is bullshit because it's meant to reduce women to their outside looks, to meet the standards of the male gaze. The baddie aesthetic has never been about women. It always has been about what men want. So I'm not going to call it an aesthetic. I'm just going to call it bullshit, because what it actually does is that it oppresses yourself. It oppresses your creativity and who you really are, because when you fit in those type of aesthetics, whatever, in those type of categories, you actually forget yourself, because you don't want to listen to your real desires. Like, oh, I want to wear orange today. No, but that doesn't look baddie enough, right? I don't want to. Oh, I don't know. I want to have braids on. But I'm not gonna look like a baddie anymore. I'm just gonna look like an African girl, like an African girl, a girl that's coming from Cameroon or Senegal, which is not a problem actually, because if you're actually from there, it's part of your identity. So why not be proud of that? Whatever. Yeah. And after isolating myself, which I am still doing, I'm still doing it. I'm not mixing myself with anybody except my best friend, and if I get a baby or whatever. But what it gave me was it gave me the chance to how could I put it? It gave me the chance to discover myself again, and to actually realize that I didn't want to fit those standards. I didn't want to wear black every day. I didn't want to wear a wig every day. I didn't want to straighten my hair every day. I didn't want to put makeup on in a way that doesn't make me look like myself. I don't want to go out and not have fun. I don't want to go to the club and just sit there just because I have to look like a baddie, and I'm not having any fun. And I'm not smiling to people. I'm not creating any human relationships. I'm just sitting there because I have to look like a baddie, I didn't want that anymore. Because I was not living my life. I was living my life to meet other people's standards and to attract men, which is the worst way to live your life, by the way. If you have the financial means, this is the worst way to live your life. Living your life to meet other people's standards will make you miserable. And that's what I was. I was miserable. When I went to the club and then I came home, I would cry, bruh. I would cry every time that I went out. I would go home. Nobody knows this. And I would cry because, first of all, I was not feeling like myself. And even if I was attracting guys, I felt deep within me that I was not attracting guys for my own self. I was attracting guys just because I decided to fit the beauty standards in the way that made guys attracted to me. But my personality and who I really wanted to be was not being expressed. So I was really repressing myself. And that was really tough. And then I let go of it. I went back home on January. So I went back to Rainian Island to my family. And it just reminded me who I really was, which is an island girl. And as an island girl, I'm going to wear colors. I'm going to wear clothes that maybe people here are not going to wear because it's just not the culture. I'm going to be myself, whatever. And not totally, but I progressively let go of this aesthetic. Went back to wearing my own hair. I still had extensions in, but just because I cut them off. So, and also I wore I'm gonna write the English word tissage, and it cut like my hair at the front like this, and my hair at the back was like this, so I could not go out like this. Obviously. I went back to wearing braids, which I didn't do for a long time because I always thought that it didn't give baddie enough, It gave I don't know. I think that I didn't want to give. yeah, I went back home, and then I came back to France. And then summer came, and yeah, I just decided to be truthful to myself. I stopped eating bad food. I started eating really great stuff like healthy food. I eat a lot of vegetables, raw vegetables, which helps too. Um, and yeah, yeah. And I've never felt better. I will always say to people that if you want to be someone that you're not, you're always going to be miserable. If you try as a woman, and I'm talking to my women here, if you try to fit beauty standards that do not match who you really are, you're going to be miserable. You're just going to be miserable. If you want to match the baddie aesthetic, you're going to be miserable. Because nobody was born on this earth to look like what a baddie is. First of all, the baddie standard itself is unattainable because you have to undergo surgery to look like it. Like most of the girls have to undergo surgery to look like a baddie because the natural body is not created like to have like a really tight waist, big booties, and big titties. That's like some girls have that body like naturally, but most of us don't, and that's totally fine. That doesn't mean that you are not beautiful. That doesn't mean that you have to undergo surgery to be attractive. And first of all, being attractive should not be the main purpose of your life. The main purpose of your life should be to appreciate life and to grow into the girl that you have, that you want to be, grow into being a better human being, grow into being able to appreciate nature even if you live in an environment that does not really have any nature. Because here in France, if you go to Paris, you have more buildings than trees, right? But the meaning of your life shouldn't be to like only please other people. And I feel like it's always a look thing. We never try to be better human beings, right? We never try to cultivate the light that's within us. We always try to be the girl that's going to be the prettiest in the room, but we never try to be the girl that's going to have the lightest energy in the room, right? We always try to be the one that's going to be that's going to have the better look and the most like the most stylish heels or whatever. But we never actually work on ourselves from within. So what I would say is just let go of the body aesthetic in your life where, well, I assure you it's gonna like be better. Because even if you stop trying to be a baddie and you lose your boyfriend or your friends that are obsessed with being baddies or whatever, okay, ask yourself, do these people really love me for myself, or they love me to show other people that they have a baddie in their life? That's the real question. Do you really think that if your boyfriend loves you, the fact that you stop trying to be a baddie is gonna make you lose him? No. But if you stop being a baddie and you lose whoever, that means that those people were not interested in your personality and they weren't interested in who you really are, and that's totally fine because it's gonna make you're gonna be better. You're gonna feel better because you're not gonna be surrounded by energies that are fake, by people whose energy like actually do not serve you, because they're so superficial that you're becoming superficial and you're losing yourself and you don't know where you're at and you don't know if you like if you like wearing whatever you're wearing. You're just losing yourself. You're just doing stuff because everybody's doing stuff, but you never really ask yourself if you really want to wear acrylics. Do you really feel like yourself, wearing fake nails? Do you really feel like yourself wearing wigs? Do you really feel like yourself wearing black all the time? If you do, that's totally fine. That means that it's meant for you. But I assure you that most of the time, you're not going to feel fine. Because you're going to feel ugly taking it off. You're going to feel ugly taking it off because you're so used to not being yourself that you don't know how to deal with being yourself. And that's why you try to find any reassurance from other people, from guys most of the time. From guys. And you're not, I assure you from experience, you're not gonna feel better after receiving male attention. Because most of the time, male attention is not sincere. They do not want to really get to know you. I mean, I'm not generalizing anything. It's just a human thing. Most of the time, people don't really want to get to know you. They just want to get what they can get from you and then leave you, which is totally fine because life is like that. But you have to realize that. That's why you have to find peace from within and go back to yourself and ask yourself, do I really want to meet the baddie standard? Does it really make me happy to not express myself fully just to meet a certain standard? That's what you have to ask yourself. Am I really happy going to the club, not really being able what I really want to wear, not being able to dance how I really want to dance, not being able to act like I really want to act, just because I want to be seen as something that does not really matter, because at the end of the day, you're gonna die. People are not gonna care about if you were a baddie, if you acted like one when you were in the club. They don't care that much. And because you think that people care that much, you force yourself to meet something that's making you unhappy. That is not fulfilling you. And I just hope that at one time, girls will actually see that the baddie aesthetic is not serving them. It's not serving us. It's not serving us. The people that it is serving is men. It's just men. Because you're never gonna benefit from something that oppresses yourself. It's just not how it works. So yeah, that was my just ask yourself, are you really happy doing that? Are you really happy meeting the baddie standard? And I think that most of the times you're just gonna realize that you're not happy, that you were so deep in the system that you didn't even realize that's not what you were meant to do. That's not what you were meant to be, because nobody's meant to be a baddie, because it's just not a natural aesthetic. And we were meant to be natural. I'm not talking about wearing makeup or whatever. What I'm talking about is the behaviors that come with it, and the deception and the obsession about your looks that it comes with. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, I think it's gonna be that.